Mindfulness practice, mindful walking. Being in nature can be deeply healing and can help us to connect to our inner compass more fully. It can also help us to have experiences that are mystical in nature. Nature is incredibly beautiful and powerful, and the experience of being fully present with nature can lead to wonderful experiences. For this exercise, we're going to experiment with mindfully walking. So if you haven't already done so, I invite you to put on your shoes. Again, as you're putting on your shoes, I want to remind you that the point of any mindfulness activity, specifically practicing being in the present moment, isn't to not have an inner dialogue, thoughts, emotions, body sensations, or beliefs arise. The point of being in the present moment and doing something mindfully is to have awareness of when you are distracted by your thoughts, emotions, body sensations and beliefs, and you're kind of like lost in them, and they have kind of distracted you from being fully present with whatever you're doing in the external world. When you notice that you were distracted, what you want to do is you want to offer yourself some compassion and gentle reminder to come back to the present moment. If something is really happening internally that is very distressing, you might need to reparent yourself and love yourself and go back to that exercise RAIN that we experimented with earlier. But for this practice, we are going to experiment with gently encouraging ourselves to come back to the process of walking and being present with it if we notice that we are distracted. Once your shoes are on, I invite you to go outside, and we're going to experiment with walking through your neighborhood. There are many benefits to walking from a scientific perspective. It can help with blood pressure, it can help with weight loss, it can help with maintaining balance. There's lots of reasons to experiment with mindful walking. And as you begin walking around your neighborhood, I invite you to be fully present with what you're noticing happening externally. So, what are the sounds that you hear? Do you hear birds? Squirrels? The neighbor's dog? Are there people nearby talking? Can you hear cars? Thoughts might arise in relationship to the things that you're hearing, and just accept their presence if you notice that you're having thoughts arise or belief systems arise. And if you're noticing that you're judging things and labeling them as good or bad, just notice that you're judging things and then encourage yourself to just accept the presence of what you're noticing and just experiment with noticing. Now bring your awareness to your body and notice the temperature against your body. So is it a warm day? Is it a cold day? Is it wet outside? How is the weather impacting your experience? Again, you might have thoughts arise in response to the weather, and it is okay if thoughts arise. Just gently acknowledge their presence and then come back to the experience of being with the weather and how that feels against your body. As I'm recording this recording, I'm noticing that there is a siren nearby, which you might also be hearing. What arises for you internally as we have the distraction of a siren going by during this recording? Again, the point of doing something mindfully isn't to have a total quiet mind. It is to bring our awareness back to the present moment when we notice we're distracted. Now I want you to notice your feet on the ground. What does it feel like for your feet to move? For your legs to move? For your arms to move? Are your feet experiencing any pressure as they touch the ground? I'm going to bring in this concept that Mother Earth is always supporting us, even when we don't ask, literally through gravity. So as you walk, can you feel the support of the earth beneath you? Sometimes it might be the only support we are getting. Sometimes we might be having a really rough time, but if we focus in on the ground and the earth beneath us, we can feel a sense of stability. So what is it like to feel that stability as you walk? What is it like when I suggest that that is even a concept? Again, this might trigger some thoughts, belief systems. I don't want you to shift or change what you're noticing internally. I just want you to accept the presence and bring your awareness back to being with walking. Do you notice the trees, the flowers, the houses, the cars? If you notice a flower, does it have a smell? Often when we're walking somewhere, we are so lost in our mind and in our thoughts that we are not taking in our environment. And this can put us at risk of being harmed. It can lead us to not be aware of dangers in our surroundings. It can lead us to cross the street without looking to see if a car is coming. It can lead us to not be aware if somebody is following us. Well, the chances and likelihood of something like that happening are pretty small, but it is important for us to know how to be fully present with what we are doing in the external world so that we can have awareness of dangers. I invite you to continue walking, at least around the block, or try to walk for 10 minutes, continuing to experiment with being fully present and just observing what's happening internally and accepting it if you notice it. And if you're distracted, when you notice that you're distracted, just bring your awareness back to the presence of walking. Once you get back to your apartment or your home, I invite you to create some sort of ritual exploring what this was like for you. Perhaps journaling, creating an art project, a movement piece, or a song, or any other form of creative expression.